This video is not sponsored, and today I'm going to take you through 4 of the main class planning apps. I've done the free trial for you, so you can explore the platform with me without worrying about being charged. And we're going to evaluate which one is good for who might want to use each app, and why. Now, if you haven't been here before, hello, welcome. My name is Lauren. I cover everything Pilates instructors need to know beyond the anatomy. And today we're looking at class planning apps. Now, if you do not use any kind of social media or talk to anyone in the Pilates world, then you might be wondering what a class planning app is. As Pilates has grown more and more popular, there's been more and more of an expectation to be very creative with your class planning. I'm not saying that this is a good or bad thing. I always enjoy attending a class that gives me a few moves I've never done before. Equally, I enjoy going to a traditional class where it's the same 1,000 movements I've done 100 times, but taught in a different way or with perhaps new feedback. Either way, sometimes class planning apps, especially as we're working more and more, especially if you're a full-time instructor and struggle to get to other instructors' classes, are a good way to get inspiration. All of the apps that we're going to look at today, I have actually been a subscriber at some point in time to each of these apps. I never really keep the subscription for months and months on end because the way I will use the apps is to draw a little bit of inspiration, but to actually get good at teaching a move, you need to do it more than once. Same with a class plan. You need to do it a few times before getting good at it. You'll notice different things on different reformers in your particular group, or maybe you've got slightly different props for whatever reason. It's never quite how we do it on the app. Even if you try it yourself, you'll learn little bits that make the class better as you teach it a few times. And I'm also a strong advocate that we shouldn't fall into this trap of feeling like we have to reinvent the wheel for every single class. Give your clients new challenges, give them fresh perspectives and a couple of new movements here or there, but don't be afraid to repeat the basics. And there are different ways you can do that. I've always found what's been the best thing for me for inspiration is taking a class, but I do appreciate we go through periods of where it's really hard to attend regular classes, let alone regular classes at our favorite studios with our favorite instructors. The schedules just never seem to align. So that's often something I'll do on my holidays, whereas day to day, if I attend a class, it's more often a little bit more spontaneous, a bit more random. So the 4 apps we're going to look at today are Pilates Anytime, Class Choreography, Pilatesology, and Class Plan. They all have slightly different focuses, so that's why I've chosen these 4. There are other class planning apps out there. A lot of very popular influencer instructors also have their own ones. So we're going to start with Pilates Anytime purely because I think this is the one that most people have heard of from in every type and variation of contemporary. You've got some classical, some athletic, and some rehab focus work. Some of the classes are a little bit leaning into your dynamic style. The style of video that Pilates Anytime is you're in there in the class where the instructor is with the client from start to finish. If it's a 45-minute class, the video is 45 minutes long. The instructor is teaching a body in front of them for most of the videos. And this I find quite valuable because you're not only getting the exercises and the flow, but also inspiration on how to cue movements. And because they've got a body there, you'll also see you'll get inspiration for how to give tactile feedback as well. You'll also be able to see things like class flow and, for example, moments that they stop to explain things and that extra little layer on technique. The con to this is obviously you then either have to watch the full video or do the whole thing. I would, of course, always try recommending movements on reformer before you teach them. In fact, I would insist, but some of the other apps we're going to talk about, they come in quite handy for other reasons. So Pilates Anytime is not going to be the app for you if you've got quite a lot of class plans and you're just trying to find one isolated move to just fill in a blank. That's going to be one of our other apps. However, it is if you want full new inspiration for either blocks or full class plans that comes kind of as the full package, then that one's going to be the one for you. Right. Now, the format of this is slightly different because you don't have the full class being given to you in real time. The instructor will have maybe a 10 or 15-minute video for a 50-minute class where they show each exercise and a few little things, little pointers you can think about. So they're communicating to you like, okay, here we're going to do our fly. You're going to do about 8 of those. Make sure that they're keeping the shoulders away from the ears, but they're not going to do the full class in real time, and it is the instructor showing you. So they're not giving tactile feedback either. They also have class notes, and it will say the springs on the pieces of paper. So if you want to either print it out and just memorize it, or just refer back to the class without having to look at the video, then that one's super handy. Their style is also contemporary, quite modern, which is a style I kind of quite favor and like. You can filter on class choreography by level, by concept, by equipment, by prop. Equipment and prop is different here. So you've got your equipment, your reformer, your chair, your Cadillac, your tower, and then props would be things like balls, rings, etc. All right, number 3, Pilatesology. Now this is your classical class planning app. I've used this one when I started teaching more classical Pilates on a regular basis to a group. I was struggling to find ways to not make it feel boring, either for my clients or for myself. And I think when you're teaching a group rather than a one-on-one, it can almost start to feel scripted after a while. If you're in one-on-one, you get the verbal feedback in real time from the client, whereas in a group, especially in my case, quite a large group, you're not getting that. So just to kind of not default to a script and really be present with the group and give them something to work on. Pilatesology, they do give you full classes, so the format is quite similar to, as discussed on Pilates Anytime, but it is classical Pilates, and it does have all the different equipment. There was an instructor I really liked. Damn it, I don't remember her name. I might insert it here, I might show it in the video, but I would watch the classes, participate with them, but they give you those extra little thought nuggets or themes that you can take into your class. So either pelvic stability in a thigh to abdominal connection, you could take, for example, a shoulder girdle to hand connection as a theme, whatever it might be. And they give you different ways of expressing the idea, different ways of piecing it together, still whilst maintaining a traditional. And then finally, we've got Class Plan. This is your dynamic class planning app. So they exclusively sort of refer to themselves as the dynamic class plan. So Corinne Nolan, who set up the Class Plan app, is a lovely person. I did meet her quite recently. So your Class Plan is your dynamic app. Now, the way Class Plan categorizes is by exercise. So it's like an exercise library rather than a flow library, and then you can kind of piece it together on your phone or your iPad. This one I find particularly helpful if you've got a class plan in front of you that you've made or almost made, and you're like, damn it, I just need one more exercise in this class plan, but I cannot think of something that I haven't done 1,000 times. I need an idea. Then you can kind of roll through it. Then the way it's set up on Class Plan, you can kind of filter through by body part, by equipment, by props, all that sort of things. And it will give you all of the exercises. And then you can kind of pick and choose one and apply it to and add it into your class. So that's what I've done with that one a few times. I've kind of just refreshed my existing class plan. So rather than having to start from scratch with a bunch, just taking flows that I know work and then taking out a piece and putting it in. They do have some flows programmed in, so you can get like full class plans. Little flag I've got here as well. So loads of the exercises are fantastic. A few of them I've tried just feel a little bit pointless. So I'm going to give an example. There was one exercise where you thread a dumbbell through the strap, hold it up to the ceiling, and then start glute bridging. But you're holding the carry still, and the dumbbell serves no purpose. And I think clients will see through that. You might as well just hold the straps if you're going to do that one to kind of keep the arm straight and force the carriage still. I don't particularly see the point in threading the dumbbell through. And you might argue, oh, okay, well, there's other things you can do. You can add it into your series. And with that one, again, a lot of it, I was just like, I don't really need the dumbbell threaded through here. It doesn't change the exercise that much. If anything, all it made me do is get really tired in my forearms. So if you want forearm training, maybe that was the purpose of that one. Yeah. So just be mindful that a few of the flows might be a bit, quote unquote, too creative for my liking, but I'll let you decide that for yourself. So if I was going to summarize them all, Pilates Anytime, it's your biggest library. It's if you want the full package of flows, tactile, cues, movements. It's the whole package, less time efficient. Class Choreography, it's for your contemporary flows. Very big class library, great for classical Pilates inspiration. And then your Class Plan, it's best for browsing for individual exercises, especially in your dynamic classes. I don't know specifically what other instructors are doing. If I had all the time in the world, if you are not working right now, if it's financially possible for you, cram in as many classes at different studios as you can, and then just write down the class plans and just mentally repeat them to yourself so that when you do get filled with work, then you can start to use them because you remember how it feels. And what you have to, it's one thing to practice a movement in isolation or on your own, but actually having been in the class and feeling how the flow goes, it's another thing. It's, for me, always the best method. Whichever one is best when you need it. None of these subscriptions have signing up fees or monthly contracts, so you can basically just pay for a month and then exit with all of them, which, in my opinion, makes them worth having whenever you need. If you've got any more questions about class planning, any of the specific apps I talked about today, or if you have any Pilates related questions at all, to be honest, feel free to write me a message on Instagram at laurenchapelhouse_Pilates. Also, for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe. And if you like this video, don't forget to leave me a like and a comment as well. It really helps me help you and help other instructors. It's a free way of supporting the channel. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.